A new poll on British attitudes towards Islam reveals the religion is misunderstood among the public. That's according to the UK-based president of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The group had a survey conducted of 2,000 people across the UK, which concluded that half the respondents believe Islamophobia is widespread across Britain. 48% also think Islam is fundamentally incompatible with British values. And just under a third of those asked believe Islam encourages acts of violence against non-Muslims, while the survey also asked whether those taking part agreed with the statement that most people in the UK have a negative view of Islam. 67% think that they do. Well, for more on this, I'm now joined by the Deputy President of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Ahmadi. Akram, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. I mean, what do you make of these findings? Is Islam really misunderstood by the British public? Do British people understand the veil?
No, in fact, I think the way the Muslims have been acting, then that type of consensus would be quite correct. We actually, whenever we hear of atrocities by Muslims around the world, we cringe, because this is not Islam at all. This is not the Islam I have been taught in the Ahmadiyya community. And, the Ahmadiyya community has been around for over 100 years. And so this is our belief that Islam is actually a very peaceful religion, and what you see being practiced has nothing to do with Islam at all. Go on.
Sorry, let's also look at some of those particular issues that obviously give rise to what people are talking about on one side or the other. I mean, look at, for instance, the protests we've seen at Anderton Park Primary School in Birmingham, the protests over LGBTQ lessons. Aren't they incompatible with British values?
Well, of course, Islam, like Christianity and other main faiths, does believe that, gay rules, we don't believe in homosexuality. Islam forbids it, and as does Christianity. But at the end of the day, we don't condemn those people. We say that, all right, if this is your lifestyle, this is how you want to behave, then that is fine with us. But we will not be intolerant to such people. So we are never intolerant to such acts which people want to carry on with.
Let's also look at some of the points raised in Sharia law. That says the death penalty is justified for certain crimes. On that level, isn't that against British values?
The death penalty is only at the very extreme end of murder. If someone has murdered someone, then he has forfeited his own life. And that only if the circumstances are that this is an atrocious act. In other circumstances, there is no death penalty within Islam. And even the death penalty does not have to be practiced. You can have other forms of punishment instead of the death penalty in Islam.
Also, let's look at some of those other findings. A third of people think Islam encourages violence against non-Muslims. I mean, is that true? I mean, what about the concept then of, say, jihad?
The whole concept of jihad is absolutely misunderstood. The meaning of jihad is to strive in the way of God. And the Holy Prophet of Islam indicated to us the greatest jihad is against yourself. When you try to fight your own demons, when the sinfulness within you, when you fight, that is the greatest jihad. And the Holy Quran says that you should carry out jihad with the Holy Quran. Now, I don't know how many people you can kill with a book, but that is the punishment of jihad. So, again, it is completely misunderstood. Jihad is to strive in the way of God. And that essentially means to do good works, to help the poor, to help the developing world. That is the true jihad which we believe in.
You might know that in this part of the world there's, in general, many people fear Islam.
Yes.
They see it as a threat to our way of life, our culture. What is your comment?
The fact is that many things in the Western world, particularly nowadays, are not being seen in the right perspective because of political involvements and the worldwide propaganda against Islam, for which, unfortunately, the initial cause of offense was given by some Muslim sovereigns like Khomeini from Iran and like Gaddafi of Libya. I don't say that they offended the world, the West, politically, but because they tried to implicate Islam in their political moves, so Islam was in fact misrepresented because of their behavior.